Good afternoon or good evening, depending on when you're watching this. It's really good to be with anyone who's doing the meditation. As usual, we're doing the loving kindness, and what better way to start your day right in the middle of the week? We can practice loving kindness and tap into some deep positivity. So welcome anyone who's just joining us. I'll have a few things to say following on from, I do an introductory course on Tuesday nights. And so some interesting things came up in that last night, which are relevant to our meditation. So I'll give those a mention. And I hope that we're remembering that last week, I was talking about preparation and how from one meditation, what you're doing is preparing for the next, so all that you do. So it's good to try and build in a bit of a meditative kind of element to your day. And whenever you can, just have those moments, quiet cups of tea or just a few minutes of breathing practice. Just even a 3-minute meditation can radically change you, have a very strong effect. So we'll start as usual around about 7. Hope we do have some people with us, and we'll be doing the kindness meditation. So just sitting quietly, just preparing mentally and physically. Good morning, Jenny. Good that you're with us. These are precious moments to sort of experience our inner selves. We can just have a moment or two to get in touch with the sensations of our physical bodies, how we're sitting. Morning, Paul and Chris, and just a little experience of ourselves. What are we feeling? Even if you can't come up with a clear, definitive answer, you can ask the question, how am I? How am I feeling? And just scan, just morning, Lynn. And just looking inwards for a moment or two can have a very positive effect, I think. So as I say, these precious moments before meditation will have a good effect. We'll take something into the meditation rather than be rushed and just doing it automatically. We can be a bit more meditative before we even start. Maybe checking your breathing. Morning, Sarah. Enjoying the stillness. If you live somewhere or you're presently somewhere that's very quiet and still, to enjoy that, you can drink it in, can't you? I've recently had a week in a shepherd's hut, and yes, you could hear the birds, but very little else. And it really is good to sort of be away from all the traffic and the hustle and bustle. So maybe in a quiet morning, we can get a taste of that. And just generally sort of settling in, perhaps making a mental decision to practice this morning. So morning, Margaret. Oh, well, you're lucky, sunrise in York. I think we've got a hint of it here. I'm in Chorley in Lancashire. So we'll get started. I just wanted to say a few words about different approaches into the meditation. So I think it applies no matter which stage you're at, but you can think in terms of, if you're familiar with the Brahma Viharas, this is where we look at metta meeting different situations. So we've got metta, we've got loving kindness, we've got that developing. But if it meets suffering, it turns into compassion. And if it meets somebody who's had some success or some joy, well, it can turn into sympathetic joy. You know, you enjoy whatever the person's happy about. Good morning, Ratnagita. And similarly, we can maintain a sort of equanimity in the face of all the ups and downs, all the worldly winds, as we call them. But I thought that was really interesting that you could bring in some reflection. You know, maybe a friend has had some pain, some suffering, some disappointment recently. Well, that would occasion, that would prompt a different response from you. Good morning, Andrea. And similarly, if you know that they've had some success or some good news, something's happening for them, well, again, you could rejoice in that. You would have a different response to that. So I think it's just an extra way of us keeping alive our practice, not just going through the motions, not just doing things automatically, but bringing a bit of awareness and a bit of freshness to the approach. You know, so we'll be doing the practice in the usual way, you know, wishing people well, maybe reconnecting with good times that we've had, but we can bring in this extra element of perhaps reflecting, well, yes, they did have some difficulties recently, or they had some good news, and they seem to be enjoying something. So we respond to that. We're flexible and in touch enough to respond appropriately. So the meditation will be the usual format. There's a bit of a devil inside me thinks we should start it differently and perhaps start with a difficult person. But anyway, we'll put that aside. I think the point I'm trying to make is like we can keep it fresh, and there are ways of doing that. It is different every time we come to it. It is different, even if we have the sense or the idea that it's the same practice, the same thing. It's not. It's fresh every day. So we'll start with developing kindness, love for ourselves. So crucial, so important, and for a lot of us, so difficult as well. It's been a real working ground for me. And then we move on. We find a good friend. So this friend needs to be somebody of a similar age, someone that we're not sexually attracted towards, and really they're just a good friend. So now we can wish them well and find ways of rejoicing in them and remembering good times. And then when we move on to the so-called neutral person, we're going to try and flesh them out into more of a human being. And using our imagination, we might see them and get a sense of them in their context. And similarly with the person we're finding difficult, as well as trying to work on our own side of things, our emotions, we can try to see them in a better way, have a different perspective on them. And then when we wind up with the last section, well, we're going to go right round the world, hopefully, taking positivity and well-wishing. And even if we don't feel gushing love for everyone, at least we've got the intention and we can make a start. So morning, Isabel and Helen, welcome. So we'll make a start. And if you haven't done so already, start to get in touch with your physical experience, the feet on the ground or however you're sitting. Be aware of your buttocks on the cushion or the chair. Just spending a moment to get a sense of the physical experience. How does it feel to be sitting? Be aware of the hands resting, maybe on the lap or however they are. And then take your awareness to the upper part of the torso, the the shoulders and the neck where you might be prone to storing tension, the back of the head and the forehead. And just imagine gently massaging or brushing away any tension. And say to yourself, relax, relax. We don't have to remember anything. We don't have to do anything in a sense. Just be here. So the development of loving kindness, the Metta Bhavana. And in this first section, developing loving kindness towards ourselves. So we might drop in a phrase, something like, may I be well and happy? May I be making progress? And keep repeating that and see, is there a response from our minds? Now you might reconnect with the time when you were happy. If you can recall a time when you felt really on top of things and things were going well, you might have even been pleased with yourself. See if you can recall those feelings. Maybe friends have commented on things you've done or admired you for something. So let that in. Allow yourself to enjoy people's appreciation. We might not be the finished article, but we're doing our best and we're good enough. So may I be well and happy, making progress. May I be in touch with the love in the universe, experience love for myself, and allow others to love me. Now in the second stage, we're focusing on a good friend. So we want them to be well and happy. We might drop in the phrase, may you be well, may you be happy, may you be making progress. And again, we might recall a time when we were together and we were happy. Shared experiences. We might have shared some tender moments when they received news, or we were just with them at important times. And in our imaginations, we can tell our friend we like them. We can say, I like you, or even I love you, the three magic words. Try to have a sense of your friend. Imagine they're actually here with you. You can feel their presence. Recollect the things you admire about your friend, their qualities, the things they've done. Imagine having a hug. You really want them to be well, happy, for things to be going well in their lives. Now we move on. The person we don't really know. We can put a face to them, we might see them regularly, but we don't know them, we don't have feelings for them either way. So this is quite a challenging section. You're trying to develop metta, loving kindness, for someone you don't know. So just bear in mind, they've got friends and family, they've got a life. Perhaps in your imagination, you can see them with friends and family, even celebrating an occasion. Again, in your imagination, you might initiate a conversation with them and find that, well, you like them, you have a lot in common. So may they be well and happy, making progress. Like you, they have their dreams and aspirations. They're a living, breathing human being. So wish them well. May they be well and happy and making progress in their lives. Now we come to the person we're finding difficult. So we can start by looking at our own feelings and thinking, well, do I want to carry on feeling these difficult feelings towards this person? Am I happy with this? And having decided to try and change and work on our feelings, emotions, we can start to look at the person get a different perspective, see them more as a rounded human being, and wish them well. It may not be possible to forgive them completely for anything they may have done, but we can start to turn it around. We can start to have the intention. Ultimately, we want to be in a kind relationship with everyone. Whilst we may have difficulties with them, they've got friends and family who love them, who get on with them. So try to see them in a different sort of context. So we're not shutting this person away or the difficulties. We're not shutting them away in a cupboard somewhere. We're opening it up and we're looking and we're trying to turn round the difficulties. So may they be well and happy. Deep down, we do want to be loving and forgiving. So we direct some of that towards this person that we've been finding difficult. And now we start the process of taking loving kindness out to the world. But we start by reconnecting with the 4 people we've already paid attention to. So that's ourselves, the good friend, the so-called neutral person, and the person we've been finding difficult. So we wish all them well. And then everyone in our household, We wish them well. May they be well and happy. And then everyone in your own locality, your neighbourhood, the immediate area. And in your imagination, you can see them going about whatever they're doing, going off to work, popping into the convenience store, whatever they're doing. You wish them well. And moving further and further out, the whole of your town or city, all those people, may they all be well and happy. In your imagination, you can go to favourite places, visit friends. You can go to Nottingham or Monmouth, Cambridge, wherever you have a connection. Wishing your friends and others well. So covering the whole of the country. Even people you might find difficult. And we don't have to stop at this country. We can start to look across at Europe. All these people in all these different countries, France, Belgium, Germany, Holland, all these people getting on with their lives. Some experiencing great joy, some people are suffering, and some are just in a grey neutral sort of state. But may they all be well and happy and making progress. And there are no boundaries. We don't stop at the border of any country. So everyone in Russia, Iran, right round the world. And where people are struggling, may there be peace. In your imagination, you might travel over these places. You can see the countries and you're wishing people well. Include the animals. Very often they have a very tough life. So may everyone be happy, well, making progress, living satisfying lives, in touch with love and inspiration and beauty. So we can wish that for everyone. So taking our time to come out of the meditation, if we don't have to rush out to work. Absorbing the benefits of the meditation. And taking our meditative experience out into our day. So thank you everyone who's been with us. I hope you take something special into your day. I'm sure it has an effect. I'm sure that when we meditate, it does, contribute to the well-being of the world. Well, thank you, Lynn. Have a good day. And the thing is, when we meditate like this together, well, we're part of a community, that's one thing, but also it gives us something to refer back to. We can sort of refer back, we can remember, oh yes, that was a good start to the day. So thank you, Isabel. Thanks, Andrea. Go well, have a good day. So I do forget, but I think it might be Shakupada tomorrow. So hope that goes well, and see you all next week, hopefully. Have a good week, and yeah, may everyone be well. Bye now.